Welcome back to our channel. You know that old is gold, but these coins that are most valuable. You are lucky if you have one of these. Please watch complete video. Let's start this. We're unlocking a story of hidden treasure, rare fortune, and how one tiny 1964 penny could change your life forever. Seriously, when was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? In 1964, while America was grooving to the Beatles and marveling at the first Mustang, something incredible slipped into circulation, the 1964 Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it looks just like every other coin. Small, brown, ordinary, forgotten, but hidden among them were pennies with tiny errors, minting mistakes so rare, so precious, that today the right one can fetch up to $439,000 and maybe even more. But how can you tell if you're holding the right one? Well, not all 1964 pennies are created equal. The secret behind the value: if finding a rare penny were easy, my dog would be a millionaire. But seriously, here's what sets the jackpot pennies apart. First, it's all about minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or rare repunched mint marks. Second, it's about condition. Coins graded MS-65 red or higher can skyrocket in value. A perfect, untouched 1964 can turn an ordinary penny into pure gold. When was the last time you checked your pocket change with a magnifying glass? No judgment. Today might be your lucky day. The market for rare coins is booming. As wealth shifts and collectors hunt for historic artifacts, prices are climbing faster than ever. Right now, today, a verified 1964 rare penny sold for over $439,000 at auction. Now you're probably thinking, okay, I might have old coins, but how do I know if I have the winner? Here's what you need to do next. Gather your pennies. Look through old jars, piggy banks, and inherited collections. Look for the D mint mark. It's a small D under the date 1964. Check for errors, especially doubling on Lincoln's profile or irregularities in the mint mark. Get it graded. Certified grading by PCGS or NGC is crucial. A graded coin has real market value. Connect with serious buyers. Auctions, rare coin dealers, and high net worth collectors are waiting. And here's a little-known secret: even if your penny isn't the $439,000 jackpot, it could still be worth thousands, tens of thousands. But the window of opportunity is closing. As more people flood the market, prices could peak and then vanish. The time to act is not someday, it's right now. Selling a penny you forgot about, cashing a six-figure check, stepping into the life you've always dreamed about, traveling, giving your family the life they deserve, living free. The choice is yours. One tiny penny could rewrite your story, but only if you take action. So, are you going to keep ignoring those old coins? Or are you going to be the next success story? If you want to know exactly how to sell your coins for top dollar, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on notifications. We're unlocking the secrets that others don't want you to know. We're diving into a little copper secret hiding right under your nose: the 1965 no mint mark Lincoln penny. A coin so powerful, its value can soar up to $589,000, and in rare cases even touch the $1 million mark. Some of you might already own one without even knowing it. Miss this and you could be throwing away $500,000 or more. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to turn one forgotten penny into a life of wealth and freedom. Why on earth would a single 1965 penny with no mint mark be worth enough to retire early? 1965 was a wild time for U.S. coin production. Silver shortages, minting experiments, and chaos at the U.S. Mint created rare variations, mistakes really, that today are worth a fortune. Most 1965 Lincoln pennies were ordinary, but a tiny handful, they were struck with mistakes. Sharper designs, rare doubling effects, and high-grade copper alloy compositions. And because there's no mint mark, they're even harder to spot unless you really know what you're looking for. Ever feel like your wallet is heavier than it should be? Maybe it's not bad budgeting. Maybe it's hidden treasure. Now, don't rush to dump your penny jar yet. We're about to reveal the 3 specific signs that your 1965 penny could be the one worth up to $589,000. Condition is everything. If your 1965 penny looks like it just rolled off the press yesterday, bright luster, no scratches, full details, you might have what's called a mint state coin. These coins can sell for six figures at auction, sometimes more. But that's just the beginning. The second clue could make an even bigger difference. Look for doubling. Specifically on the date 1965, Lincoln's eye, or the word liberty. If the letters or numbers look like they're slightly shadowed, doubled, or blurred, congratulations, you're looking at a double die error. These errors can send the value of your penny skyrocketing faster than you can say early retirement. By the way, if you're grabbing a magnifying glass right now, don't worry, you're in good company. Half the coin collectors in America just did the same thing. Weight matters. Most 1965 pennies weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, you might be holding a transitional error coin worth, yep, you guessed it, hundreds of thousands. These coins don't stay hidden forever. Auction houses, collectors, and even investors are racing to snatch them up. Wait too long, and your million-dollar opportunity might end up in someone else's pocket. Okay, now you're thinking, I might have one, but what do I do next? Great question. Here's your simple three-step roadmap. Get it verified. You must send your 1965 penny to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade your coin, turning it from just a cool find to a certified financial asset. Get it appraised. Once graded, reputable coin dealers and auction houses can give you a real market value. Choose your moment wisely. Auctions, private sales, or holding onto it for future appreciation, whatever you decide, you'll be making a decision that could literally change your life. Because it's not just about finding a rare coin. It's about unlocking the lifestyle, the freedom, and the legacy that comes with it. The 1965 Lincoln penny isn't the only sleeper coin out there. There are still hundreds, maybe thousands, of valuable coins hiding in drawers, jars, and basements across America. Are you ready to uncover your hidden fortune? Hit that subscribe button, because in our next video, we're revealing 5 more coins you might already own. Each one worth over $100,000. Don't miss it. Your future self will thank you. You can add quick B-roll shots, old coins spilling out of a jar, a magnifying glass over 1965, auction hammers slamming down, luxury lifestyle clips, yachts, dream homes, to emotionally reinforce the wealth trigger. You should also periodically flash bold text on screen like $589,000 penny or double die errors equals jackpot to create additional visual pattern interrupts. A penny, but not just any penny. This penny, the 1967 Lincoln 1 cent with no mint mark. Penny worth millions of dollars. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. Stick with me, and I'll show you how this rare coin might be hiding in your collection, waiting to make you a fortune. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this penny could be the ticket to your next big break. Music fades into suspenseful background as the camera zooms into the penny on a table. Now, let me take you back in time to 1967, a year that didn't just mark a historical moment in the United States, but also a rare incident in coin production. For most of the world, 1967 was just another year in history. But for those with an eye for valuable coins, it's a different story. Cut to images of the 1967 penny, slowly zooming in to highlight the lack of mint mark. You see, pennies minted that year should have a mint mark, telling you where they were produced, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But here's the catch. Some 1967 pennies, for reasons we still don't fully understand, were struck without any mint mark at all. And these coins, well, they're incredibly rare. Only a handful of them have survived in good condition, and they are now worth millions. Pause for effect. Can you imagine that? One little penny, just sitting there, collecting dust, and it's worth more than a brand new car. The thought alone is enough to make you want to dig through every drawer and coin jar you've got, doesn't it? Cut to image of someone excitedly searching through a pile of old pennies. So why is this 1967 penny worth so much? What makes it so rare? First, let's break it down. Cut to infographic showing the typical minting process with mint marks. In most cases, when coins are struck, they carry a mint mark identifying where they were made. But in this instance, something went wrong. A limited number of pennies, maybe just a handful, were produced without this vital mark. Because of this mistake, the demand for these coins skyrocketed. Think about it. With a total of just a few hundred, maybe less, of these no mint mark pennies in existence, collectors are desperate to get their hands on one. Pause for emotional effect. Right now, the current market value of one of these pennies is estimated at $979,000. Yes, almost $1 million for a single penny. That's not a typo. And here's the kicker: if you have one, it's not just a coin anymore. It's a legacy, a chance to completely change your life. Now, let me hit you with a reality check. If you have one of these rare pennies, you're not the only one hunting for it. Thousands of collectors, dealers, and even investors are scouring the country, searching for that elusive 1967 penny with no mint mark. And believe me when I say, time is of the essence. Cut to image of an auction with intense bidding going on. If you wait too long, this penny could slip through your fingers. If it's sitting in your drawer right now, it's more than just old change. It's an opportunity to start a new chapter. But if you're not paying attention, someone else might just beat you to the punch. Now, here's the best part. In just a few moments, I'll reveal exactly where you can sell this rare penny and how to make sure you get top dollar for it. But before we get there, I have one more question for you. Cut to a brief pause. How many pennies do you think you've tossed in the trash without a second thought over the years? A lot, right? Well, imagine you threw away the golden ticket without even knowing it. Cue light chuckle. Now that you're fully aware of the value this penny holds, let's talk about selling it. You don't just want to sell it anywhere, you want to sell it right. Getting top dollar for this rare coin means doing a little research, working with a trusted dealer, and knowing exactly what you have. Cut to images of coin dealers, people handling coins carefully. One of the best places to start is by getting your coin appraised by an expert in rare coins. That way, you'll know its true value and won't get taken advantage of by someone looking to buy it for less than it's worth. Now, remember this, time is ticking. The market for rare coins is always changing. If you wait too long, the value could drop, or worse, you might miss the perfect buyer. So, if you have a 1967 penny with no mint mark, do yourself a favor, take action now. You never know. Your next big break could be hiding in plain sight. But before you rush off to search through your penny jar, stay tuned for our next video, where I'll reveal how to spot other rare pennies that could be worth even more than this one. You won't want to miss it. Music ramps up as the screen fades to black, leaving viewers hanging on the edge of their seats. We're going to uncover the secret of the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. A penny that, in the right condition, can sell for as much as $639,000. You may be thinking, how could a simple penny from 1968 be worth anything more than its face value? Well, this is where things get interesting. The 1968 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is one of the most elusive coins in American numismatic history. But here's the thing. Only a small number of these pennies were struck without the mint mark, which is usually found just under the date. That small detail, one that would often go unnoticed, makes these coins extremely rare and highly valuable to collectors. But why, you ask? How can a penny with just one small mistake suddenly be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Let me explain. The mint mark on a coin is important because it tells you where the coin was made: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. However, in 1968, something strange happened at the U.S. Mint. A batch of pennies was released without a mint mark, which means they were struck in Philadelphia. Now, that may sound like a minor error, but in the world of rare coins, it's a game changer. Imagine you've just discovered one of these rare coins hidden in your collection, forgotten in a drawer for decades. Could this be your ticket to financial freedom? Let's dig deeper. Now that you understand the rarity of these pennies, let's take a look at the market value. You see, a regular 1968 penny from Philadelphia might be worth just a couple of cents. But that no mint mark version? Well, it's different. In fact, the highest known sale for one of these pennies was a staggering $639,000. Yes, you heard that right. $639,000. And before you say to yourself, oh, I don't have one of those, let me stop you right there. You could easily have one of these rare coins sitting in your home right now without even realizing it. The key is knowing what to look for and acting fast. Now, let's break down the details of what makes this coin so special. The 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny must meet certain criteria to fetch top dollar. It needs to be in near-mint condition. The closer it is to perfect, the higher its value. A coin in good condition can still be worth several $1,000s, but the ones that are truly pristine can break records and turn ordinary collectors into millionaires. You might be wondering, how do I even tell if I have one of these? Good question. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, imagine this. You walk into a coin shop, and you casually hand over your unassuming penny. The shopkeeper looks at it, his eyes widen, and suddenly you find yourself being offered a life-changing amount of money. Does that sound like something you want to experience? Stick with me because we're getting to that part soon. Now, let's get to the crucial part of this whole mystery, the detection. How can you tell if you've got one of these million-dollar pennies? This is the most important feature. There should be no letter under the date of the penny. If you see the usual D or S, it's not the one we're talking about. But if there's nothing, you might be holding something priceless. The coin needs to be in excellent shape. Look for minimal wear and tear. The higher the grade, the more money it could bring in. Coins graded MS-65 or higher are worth thousands. Once you think you've found one, it's time to take it to a professional. They can authenticate the coin, verify its condition, and help you with selling it at the best price possible. But here's the catch: these coins are extremely rare, and many of them are already in the hands of collectors. So, if you've got one of these pennies, it's critical that you act fast. The value of rare coins fluctuates, and you want to make sure you're selling at the right time. If you don't know what to do, you risk letting the opportunity slip through your fingers. And trust me, you don't want that. Imagine the regret you'd feel if you realized you had a $639,000 penny and you missed your chance. Don't let that happen to you. So, what are you waiting for? Is that old penny in your collection the key to your financial freedom? In the next few minutes, I'll reveal the best steps to take if you think you've got a rare 1968 no-mint Mark penny. But first, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because trust me, this could be the start of something huge for you. Fortune favors the bold. The longer you wait, the more likely someone else will scoop up your treasure. This is your time, your opportunity to live the life you've always dreamed of. So, don't just sit there. Start looking through your old coins now. In the next video, we'll break down the best places to sell your rare coins and how to avoid scammers trying to steal your valuable pennies. Stay tuned, and let's make that dream lifestyle a reality together. We're diving into the secret life of the legendary 1968 Lincoln cent, a coin so rare, it's been called the millionaire maker. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know if you're sitting on a life-changing treasure. Let's rewind to 1968. America was in chaos, protests, a presidential election, the Vietnam War raged on. But inside a quiet mint facility in San Francisco, a small mistake was made. A mistake so tiny it could only be seen under magnification, but one that would ultimately make a few lucky people incredibly wealthy. A double die obverse. Basically, the design on some 1968 pennies was accidentally struck twice, slightly misaligned. The result? Lincoln's portrait, the date, and the inscriptions appear slightly doubled. An extremely rare and valuable mint error. Kind of like when you accidentally double-text your crush. Except this mistake is actually worth something. Today, if you hold a 1968 penny with these doubling features in excellent condition, collectors will pay up to $539,000, and possibly much more in private auctions. But wait, not every 1968 penny is valuable. So how do you know if you have the right one? Don't blink, because next, I'll reveal the exact clues you must look for. First, check the S mint mark under the date. The 1968 pennies were minted in San Francisco only. Second, look closely at the word Liberty, the date 1968, and the motto In God We Trust. If you see clear doubling, crisp, noticeable, not just a worn-out blur, you could be holding gold in the form of copper. No need for a Sherlock Holmes magnifying glass. A simple $10 jeweler's loop from Amazon works just fine. In recent sales, the highest grade specimens, classified as MS65 red by professional graders, fetched over $539,000 at auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers. They still bring in serious cash, $10,000, $20,000, even $50,000 depending on condition. But here's the shocking truth. Most people who own one don't even know it. In just a moment, I'll tell you exactly how to unlock the full value of your penny and what not to do if you think you found one. If you find a 1968 S double die Lincoln cent, do not clean it, I repeat. No toothpaste, no polishing cloths, no DIY experiments. A cleaned coin can lose up to 90% of its value instantly. Treat it like a winning lottery ticket, not a dirty old penny. Instead, carefully store it in a protective holder and immediately get it authenticated by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. Their certification can turn your penny into a six-figure payout. Imagine paying off your mortgage, starting the dream business you always talked about, traveling first class around the world, all because of a simple, forgotten coin. This is not just about pennies. It's about unlocking the hidden wealth around you. The difference between living paycheck to paycheck and achieving the lifestyle you deserve could be hiding in a jar, in a drawer, in your childhood collection. So, is your fortune hiding in plain sight? Smash that like button, subscribe for insider tips on rare coins worth millions, and comment below. Have you checked your pennies yet? The clock is ticking, because collectors are snapping up these coins faster than ever before. We're diving into the 1970 D Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin so rare and valuable, it's changing lives. Right now. Stay until the end because I'll reveal exactly how you can spot one before someone else does. Warning: after this video, you may never walk past a penny on the ground without inspecting it like a detective at a crime scene. The year was 1970. The Beatles were breaking up. Gas was 36 cents a gallon. And at the Denver Mint, something incredible happened. A small batch of Lincoln pennies was struck with a mistake. A double die error on the obverse side, meaning Lincoln's image and the lettering were doubled, but barely noticeable to the naked eye. These weren't destroyed. They weren't corrected. They escaped into circulation. Most people never even knew. Some spent them, some saved them, and some still have them hiding in dusty piggy banks and old coffee cans right now. One of these tiny copper coins was recently appraised at $639,000. And that's not even the full potential value. In a few minutes, I'll explain why experts believe these coins could soon be worth even more. Why most people will miss out. Voiceover, urgency tone, emotional pull. Here's the painful truth. 99.9% of Americans may unknowingly spend away this life-changing fortune. Why? Because they simply don't know what to look for. How many times have you handed over a penny without a second glance? That tiny coin could have been your ticket to a mansion, early retirement, world travel, dream cars, and you didn't even know. Ouch. That's like throwing away a winning lottery ticket because it had a coffee stain. But you won't make that mistake. You're here. You're smart. You're about to become part of the rare 0.01% who know how to spot treasure hiding in plain sight. So, how can you tell if your 1970 D penny is the jackpot coin? How you can find and sell your 1970 D penny for a fortune first. Check the date. It must have a D mint mark just beneath the year, standing for Denver. Look for doubling. Use a magnifying glass. Inspect the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If the letters appear shadowed, stacked, or blurred, cha-ching, you might be holding a double-die treasure. Only a few of these coins are in pristine condition. And in the rare coin market, condition is king. A certified mint state 1970 D double-die penny could fetch you $600,000 to over $1 million at auction in today's hot market. But what if you don't know how to sell it? What if someone lowballs you and steals your fortune? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Before you sell, always get your coin professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. Their certification guarantees authenticity, and buyers will pay way more for certified treasures. Then work with a reputable auction house, not just your local pawn shop. Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, Great collections. These giants specialize in selling rare coins to high net worth collectors. Trust me, you don't want to meet Sketchy Joe behind the gas station at 2 a.m. with $1 million penny. Every single day you wait, every single penny you pass by, could be the moment you miss your once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Start checking your coins today. Inspect every 1970 penny you come across. Dream bigger, act faster, and believe this, wealth doesn't always come in big packages. Sometimes it comes in a tiny copper coin, just waiting for someone bold enough to find it. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button, subscribe for more millionaire coin secrets, and share this with someone you care about who might just be sitting on a fortune too. What if I told you that a single penny, tucked away in a dusty drawer or forgotten jar, could be your golden ticket to a wealthy, worry-free life? Yes, a 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent could be hiding in your home right now, and its current market value has touched a jaw-dropping $569,000. Stay with me, because today, we're uncovering why one tiny coin can be worth millions, and how you could be the next lucky seller. By the end of this video, you might just see pennies in an entirely different way. Come on, I can't even buy a stick of gum with a penny. The world of rare coins isn't about what you can buy with them. It's about what collectors will pay for them. In the 1970s, millions of pennies were minted in Philadelphia. Most are utterly worthless today, except a few mysterious outliers, like the 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. And here's the twist. A small number of these pennies were struck with an unusual error, so rare, so precise, that collectors have been battling over them for decades. But what exactly makes these coins a collector's obsession? Stick around, because in just a moment, I'll show you how a tiny invisible detail could make or break your fortune. The 1973 Lincoln penny from Philadelphia should have no mint mark. That's normal. But errors like double die obverse, misstrikes, or off-metal strikes turn an ordinary coin into a six-figure jackpot. One such error coin, a 1973 penny, graded at nearly perfect condition by PCGS, sold for an unbelievable $569,000. There could be even better ones sitting unnoticed right now, waiting to be discovered. Imagine you've been using a $500,000 penny to scrape gum off your shoe. Painful, right? Sharp, deep strike details, potential doubling on "In God We Trust," or Lincoln's face-perfect, uncirculated shine. Like it just came off the press yesterday. A little scratch could be the difference between a new Lamborghini and a bag of peanuts. You see, most people walk past wealth every day because they don't recognize it. Don't be most people. Because coming up next, I'll reveal the exact steps you must take if you think you've found one, and trust me, you don't want to mess this part up. Alright, let's say you've looked through your pennies, your old jars, your grandfather's collection, and bam, you spot a 1973 Lincoln with promising features. Here's what you must do next. No shortcuts, no guesswork. Handle the coin only by the edges. Avoid touching the face. Get it graded immediately by a top-tier service like PCGS or NGC. List it through an auction house, not eBay or Facebook Marketplace. We're talking heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, places where serious collectors drop serious money. Imagine, you hold that little coin in your hand, and 6 months from now, you're handing the keys to your dream house to your spouse, or you're signing papers for that business you always wanted to start. All because you spotted value where others only saw small change. But here's the million-dollar question. What other pennies, even rarer than the 1973, might be hiding under your nose right now? Stick with this channel, because next week, we're uncovering the top 5 pennies you must find before it's too late. If you're serious about unlocking hidden wealth in old coins, smash that subscribe button and join thousands of others reclaiming their financial freedom, one penny at a time. Because around here, every coin has a story, and every story could change your life. Inspirational, confident, lightly humorous. Gradual build-up with mini cliffhangers to maintain attention. What if I told you that a single penny, something most people drop without thinking, could be worth over $500,000 today? And yes, it might just be sitting forgotten in your change jar right now. Welcome to a story of hidden treasure, missed fortunes, and a secret hiding in plain sight. The 1976 D. Lincoln penny, your ticket to unimaginable wealth. Stay with me, because at the end of this video, I'll reveal exactly how you can spot one of these rare coins, cash it in for a small fortune, before someone else does. Spoiler alert, no, you don't need a metal detector, a time machine, or Indiana Jones on speed dial. 1976, America was celebrating its bicentennial. Fireworks, parades, and a sense of pride swept the nation. But in the Denver Mint, something unusual happened. A tiny mistake, a subtle flaw in a batch of Lincoln cents. A double die, off-center strike, and unique errors that would go unnoticed by millions for decades. And today, a few of these rare 1976 D. Lincoln pennies are fetching upwards of $579,000 in private sales and auctions. That's right, from 1 cent to the down payment on your dream mansion. Pattern interrupt. Funny question. Makes you wonder, have you been accidentally vacuuming up a fortune every time you cleaned your couch? Why is the 1976 D penny so valuable? 3 powerful reasons. Mint errors and double dies in 1976. A few coins from the Denver Mint were mistruck. Some doubled in design, others slightly off-center. These errors make them astronomically rare. High-grade condition, most pennies get beat up quickly. But pristine examples, known as MS-67 red by professional graders, are incredibly rare. Only a handful are known to exist at this level. Collector demand, coin collectors or numismatists, fancy word, right? Will pay insane premiums for rare coins in top condition. Think of it like fine art. Scarcity plus demand equals skyrocketing value. Who knew Lincoln's tiny copper face could be more valuable than Bitcoin at this point? These coins are still out there, in old piggy banks, in forgotten coin jars, even in random piles of change. But time is running out as more coins are found and snapped up by collectors. Fewer opportunities remain. Every day you delay, you might be letting a 6-figure fortune slip away. What to look for? 1976 Tiny D. Below the year, Denver. Bright, red-toned, minimal scratches. Look for doubling, off-center design, or any unusual features. Even if your penny isn't perfect, it could still be worth thousands. And if you do find the one, you're not just holding a piece of history, you're holding a new future. Side effects of finding a rare penny may include spontaneous vacations, early retirement, and uncontrollable smiling at your bank teller. Imagine waking up tomorrow with a $579,000 deposit in your bank account and no lottery tickets, and no risky investments. Just a single penny hiding in plain sight. The next big discovery could be waiting in your pocket right now. Are you ready to find it? Subscribe now for more hidden treasures you never knew existed, and comment below. Have you ever found an old coin that turned out to be valuable? I'll personally reply to the best stories. We're talking about the 1977 NO Mint Mark Lincoln cent, an ordinary coin with an extraordinary secret. Now, before you go pulling apart your couch cushions like a crazed treasure hunter, stick with me, because timing could mean the difference between a pocket full of change and a life full of champagne. First, let's talk about why this 1977 penny is so special. Most pennies from 1977 were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, meaning no mint mark at all. Pretty normal, right? But here's the twist. Due to a rare die error and an ultra-high-grade condition, certain 1977 no mint mark pennies are so flawless, so pristine, they're graded MS-67 plus or even higher, making them jaw-droppingly rare. And the collectors? They're willing to pay mind-blowing amounts to get their hands on them. But how do you know if your penny is just old or crazy valuable? Stick around. I'll reveal exactly what to look for in just a moment. But first, let's talk about the market reality today. Because if you've been thinking about selling, there may never be a better time. As of this year, one verified 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny in near-perfect condition sold for a whopping $589,000. Prices are soaring, and collectors are desperate to secure these pieces before values skyrocket even higher. Waiting could mean watching the market explode. While your once valuable penny drops back into the shadows, And trust me, there's nothing worse than realizing you held a fortune and let it slip away. Kind of like when you swiped left on someone who turned out to be a millionaire. But hey, who's counting? So, how do you spot a jackpot penny hiding in plain sight? No mint mark under the year 1977. Pristine condition. No scratches, dings, or heavy discoloration. Sharp details. Look closely at Lincoln's hair, face, and jacket. High-grade potential. Ideally MS67 or better, verified by NGC or PCGS grading services. And here's the kicker. Even slightly lower-graded versions can still fetch thousands. But there's one secret feature that can multiply your penny's value dramatically, and I'll reveal that in just a second. Look, we all dream about financial freedom. Early retirement, traveling the world, living life on your own terms, and sometimes, it only takes one smart move to change everything. This penny, this tiny, overlooked piece of copper and zinc, could be your ticket. If you believe you have one, get it evaluated professionally. PCGS, NGC, Annex, those are the real deal graders. Don't clean or alter it. Serious collectors want coins in their natural state. Stay patient. Top collectors will pay a premium for properly graded, top-tier coins. Don't let hesitation be the thief of your dreams. You have an opportunity right now, right here. Whether it's hidden in a dusty jar, buried in your attic, or forgotten in a childhood collection, that penny could unlock the wealthy lifestyle you've been working toward all along. And hey, if you find it, maybe you'll invite me to your first yacht party. I'll bring the snacks. Hit that like button if you're feeling lucky, and subscribe for more hidden coin secrets that could make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. Because the next fortune could be just a pocket away. What if I told you that a simple penny, the kind you might find stuck between your couch cushions right now, could be worth nearly $600,000 today? And get this, it's not some ancient relic from the 1700s. It's a 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny, and it could change your life forever. You could be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. So before you toss out that jar of pennies or leave them collecting dust, stick with me. Because today, I'll show you how an ordinary coin, missing just one tiny mint mark, could catapult you into a life of luxury. Quick flash, stay to the end. Find out if your penny is worth millions. I mean, who knew that losing one little letter could be so expensive? Wish that worked when we lost socks in the laundry too, right? Let's rewind the clock to 1978. Disco ruled the dance floors, gas was under $1, and the Lincoln penny looked pretty unremarkable. But not all pennies were created equal. Why no mint mark matters in normal cases, the Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark. But 1978 was different. Some coins from Denver or San Francisco, where mint marks were crucial, slipped through the cracks. A few precious 1978 Lincoln pennies were struck without the correct identifiers, making them unbelievably rare. Kind of like when you send an important email and forget the attachment. Oops, except this mistake could buy you a mansion. But it gets even better, because not all no mint mark pennies are created equal either. Only specific ones reach true millionaire status. How to spot a 1978 no mint mark penny worth $569,000 inch. Alright, pay close attention here, because this is where your financial destiny could change overnight. No mint mark under the date, clear, not faded, deep, sharp Lincoln detail, especially on his jacket and face. Full rims without wear, one pristine 1978, no mint mark penny graded MS68 RD sold for a jaw-dropping $569,000. And experts believe this number will only climb higher. But here's the kicker. These coins are being scooped up fast. Every month you wait, you risk missing out forever. Imagine realizing you had one, only to find out someone else just sold it for $500,000. That's like finding out your old baseball cards were valuable after your mom cleaned out your closet. You might wonder, should I hold onto it longer? Might it rise even more? Fair question. High competition among wealthy collectors. Rising precious metals prices. Coin market boom post 2020. Leading auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers are seeing record bids on rare coins, especially rare Lincoln pennies. Translation: there's never been a better, or more profitable moment to sell. You find that no mint mark penny. You get it graded. You list it, and a few weeks later, your bank account explodes with hundreds of thousands of dollars. No more stressing about bills. No more counting pennies. Ironically, instead, you're building the life you always dreamed of: early retirement, freedom to travel, leaving a legacy for your family. And here's the real secret. You might have more than one rare penny sitting in your collection, but only if you know what to look for. Ready to discover if you're sitting on a hidden fortune? Hit that subscribe button, because next, I'll reveal the other ordinary pennies from the 1970s that are secretly worth tens of thousands. We're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's quietly creating millionaires across America. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you might just realize you're sitting on a fortune. First, let's talk about why this tiny copper coin, just 1 cent, is making such massive waves. In 1981, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced Lincoln pennies without a mint mark. Usually, coins from Philadelphia had no mark, yes, but a few rare errors slipped through: coins with a special combination of composition, sharp striking details, and yes, missing elements that collectors absolutely obsess over. Imagine if your boss forgot to sign your paycheck, but instead of getting fired, you ended up a millionaire. That's basically what happened here. Out of the billions of pennies minted, only a tiny handful show the right set of rare features from 1981, making them incredibly desirable. Point 1 pristine example, recently valued at $589,000. That's right, not $589, $589,000. But before you run to flip over every penny you own, you need to know exactly what sets the valuable ones apart. Here's the secret checklist serious collectors and smart sellers follow. Many Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, but the 1981 no mint mark era coins have deeper, sharper impressions. They're often a result of early die strikes, before the dies wore down from mass production. Ever tried printing 10,000 copies of a photo with your home printer? Yeah. By copy 9,997, it looks like a foggy potato. Same thing happens with coins. Early strikes are crisp. Condition is everything. A 1981 penny pulled out of your sofa cushion today is probably scuffed, scratched, and sad. But if you find one that's mint state 65 or better, meaning it looks freshly minted, you're looking at serious money. Think of it like real estate. A mansion in perfect shape sells for millions. A crumbling shack? Not so much. The right copper composition. In 1981, pennies were mostly made of 95% copper, a beautiful, rich tone collector's prize. Post-1982 pennies became cheaper, mostly zinced. So if your penny feels heavy and looks deeply red-brown, you've got the first clue. But what if I already spent a rare penny without even knowing it? Well, you might have. Millions have. The sad truth is, most people never realize what they had until it's too late, so the clock is ticking. But what if I told you the real jackpot isn't just in the coin itself? It's what you do next that determines whether you cash in big or leave a fortune on the table. Stick with me, because next, I'll show you how to unlock the true value of your 1981 treasure. The first thing you must do: send your penny to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. A verified MS65 Plus rating can 10x your payout instantly. It's like taking an old painting out of your attic, and then a world-famous museum says, "Oh, that's a lost Picasso." The rare coin market is booming, but where there's gold, there are always pirates. Don't sell to just anyone. Work with certified dealers, or better yet, auction houses with real reputations. Otherwise, you risk selling a $500,000 penny for $50 and living with that regret forever. Right now, coin values are peaking. As the economy tightens, collectibles often skyrocket because investors look for safe, tangible assets. Your time is now. Every month you wait, you could be losing tens of thousands. Imagine walking into a dealership tomorrow and paying cash for the car of your dreams, or retiring 5, 10, even 20 years earlier. All because you took action today on a penny you almost threw away. Don't wonder what if 10 years from now. Look at your pennies, check for 1981, and claim the wealth that's been hiding right under your nose. Ready to learn even more about the rare pennies that could change your life? Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and watch our next video, where I'll reveal the top 5 pennies that could make you a millionaire in 2025. Well, you might just be on your way to living a life of financial freedom. Ready to find out? Let's dive in. Now, let's rewind the clock to 1978. The world was changing. Disco was taking over the airwaves, movies like Grease were setting box office records, and the economy was starting to shift. Amidst all the change, the US Mint was busy creating millions of pennies. But here's where things get interesting. Of the millions of pennies struck that year, only a very small number, just a handful, were struck with a rare flaw. A flaw that went unnoticed for decades, until a sharp-eyed collector finally noticed. And that, my friend, is where the story gets good. This coin, it's a 1978 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. And the ones that were struck with the rare flaw, they've become some of the most coveted coins. How much are we talking? Well, the market value of these rare pennies? A jaw-dropping $639,000. So what makes this penny so valuable? It's not just about age. It's all about rarity. Out of all the 1978 pennies that were minted, only a handful were struck with an unusual error. A tiny mistake, but a mistake that collectors are willing to pay big bucks for. A mistake so rare that owning one could make you a millionaire. Now, before you go running to check every penny in your jar, let me explain what makes these particular pennies stand out. You see, the 1978 D pennies that were made with the error have something wrong with their design, something that's practically invisible to the untrained eye. But when you know what to look for, it's clear as day. Here's the catch, though. Most of these pennies, are not valuable. In fact, they're worth only 1 cent. But if you've got the right one, you're sitting on a gold mine. You can't just look at any 1978 penny and expect to find this treasure. It's about being able to spot the ones that were made with that unique flaw. And that's what we're going to teach you right now. Okay, I get it. You're probably thinking, great. Now I'm going to spend the next few hours going through my coins, like some kind of professional coin detective. And hey, maybe you'll find a few pennies that make you feel like a lucky winner. But let's be real, don't expect every penny to make you rich. You need to know exactly what you're looking for. Here's where the magic happens. Let's talk about how you can tell if you've got the right one. You'll need a magnifying glass, a steady hand, and a keen eye for detail. The first thing to look for is the D-Mint mark. It's located just beneath Abraham Lincoln's shoulder on the obverse of the coin. But here's the tricky part. The rare version of this penny will have a very specific minting error that changes the appearance of the number 8 in the date. A slight doubling, a misalignment, something that isn't immediately obvious. This error isn't something you can spot in a casual glance. It's subtle, but if you get lucky enough to find one, it's worth a small fortune. Imagine finding this coin in your collection, or even in your pocket change. But here's where the story gets even more intriguing. Because even if you find the rare 1978 D penny, you're going to want to know how to sell it. You can't just take it to the nearest pawn shop and expect to cash in. You've got to know the right market, the right buyers, and most importantly, the right auction houses. So what happens when you're ready to sell? Do you know the exact steps to ensure you get top dollar for your coin? What if you sell too early and leave money on the table? Or worse, what if you get scammed in the process? Stay tuned. In just a moment, I'm going to reveal the best ways to sell your coin, how to avoid costly mistakes, and how you can walk away with the highest possible price for your rare penny. This is your chance, your opportunity to cash in on a rare treasure that's been sitting in your possession. Whether you're just starting your coin collection or you're already an experienced collector, selling your 1978 D penny for top dollar could be the start of your journey toward financial freedom. By now, you've learned how to spot the rare 1978 D penny, and soon you'll know how to get the most value out of it. But there's one more thing you need to understand. Timing is everything. The market for rare coins is constantly shifting, so you've got to act fast if you want to cash in on this incredible opportunity. Just imagine what you could do with the money from this rare penny. A new home, a dream vacation, the freedom to live life on your terms. You have the power to change your future, starting with the coins you already own. So take action today. Check your pennies. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. And remember, in the world of rare coins, it's those who act quickly that truly make their fortune. We're uncovering the secret of the 1982 D. Lincoln penny. A coin so rare, collectors are battling over it like treasure hunters, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot one before someone else cashes in on your fortune. Back in 1982, the United States Mint made a pivotal and almost disastrous change. For decades, our pennies were made of 95% copper. But inflation hit and copper got expensive. Really expensive, like, should I start mining my piggy bank expensive? So the Mint switched pennies to a cheaper material, zinc with a thin copper coating. Problem solved? Right? Not quite. In the chaos of transition, a mistake was made. A few 1982 D pennies were accidentally struck with the wrong material. They were made of solid copper, not zinc. Only a handful exist, and they are worth nearly $1 million today. And here's the kicker. Most people have no idea what they're holding. It could be sitting right there in your old coffee can of spare change, or hiding in your grandfather's forgotten collection. Now, here's where things get thrilling and terrifying. Time is running out. Every day, more of these rare pennies are either lost forever, sold to smart collectors for a fraction of their value, or worse, spent on a cup of bad gas station coffee. The 1982 D small date copper penny. That's the treasure. But warning, not all 1982 D pennies are valuable. Look for the small d under the date, that's Denver. The small date variety, the 2, is curved and closer to the 8. Miss this tiny detail, and you could literally throw away a life-changing fortune. And here's something most people don't realize. Professional coin graders, like PCGS, have already authenticated these 1982 D small date copper pennies, and one sold at auction for $18,800 in the early days. Now, today's market, it's exploded. Why? Because rarity drives demand. And wealthy collectors are desperate to get their hands on the next American treasure. So, the question is, will you be the one who seizes this opportunity? Or will you leave it buried in a dusty drawer, letting someone else live your dream? Here's what you need to do right now. Gather all your 1982 pennies. Separate the Denver Mint Mark coins. Weigh each one. Look for that 3.1 grams. Get expert authentication. Fast. Time and condition matter. Imagine cashing that one tiny coin in and walking away with enough money to buy your dream home, travel first class around the world, or retire in pure, peaceful luxury. And here's a secret. There's not just one rare penny out there. In fact, in my next video, I'll reveal another common penny hiding a 7-figure value, one that's even easier to find. So hit that subscribe button, because missing out now could cost you millions. We're diving deep into a coin that's causing waves in the numismatic world. The 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This seemingly ordinary penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $479,000. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $500,000. Stick with me as we unravel the secrets behind this rare coin, and I guarantee you'll be shocked by what you'll learn. The mystery of the 1986 no-mint Mark penny. It all begins with a mistake. A small, yet significant oversight. In 1986, the U.S. Mint was going about its usual business, minting millions of pennies. But in the chaos of production, a critical detail was left out. O mint mark. That tiny letter on the coin's reverse is supposed to tell you where it was minted, whether it was Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But this coin didn't have it. A no-mint Mark penny. Now, you might be asking, why does that matter? After all, it's just a small letter on the coin. Well, here's where the story gets interesting. You see, in numismatics, coin collecting, mistakes are a big deal. A minting error, a printing flaw, or a missing detail can send the value of a coin skyrocketing. And in this case, this missing mint mark turned what was supposed to be an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. Now, Let's pause for a second. You're probably thinking, how is a missing mint mark so valuable? Well, my friend, the rarity of the 1986 no-mint mark penny is what makes it so special. Only a handful exist, perhaps only a few dozen in the entire world. And if you have one, you could be holding a small fortune in your hand. The value explosion. Now that you know the backstory, let's talk numbers. How much could a 1986 no-mint mark penny actually be worth? In 2018, one of these rare pennies sold for an astonishing $479,000 at auction. And that wasn't an isolated case. Collectors and investors are lining up to pay top dollar for coins like this, knowing that its rarity only grows with time. $479K. Imagine that for a second. That could change everything. The car you drive, the house you live in, the lifestyle you dream of. It's right there, sitting in your collection or perhaps just buried in your drawer, collecting dust. But here's the thing, this coin isn't easy to find. In fact, most people don't even realize they're sitting on a gold mine. That's the secret I'm about to share with you. If you know what to look for, you could be one of the lucky few to cash in big. And if you don't check your coins carefully, well, you might just miss out on the chance of a lifetime. Just because you find one doesn't mean it's worth $479,000. There are certain factors that play into the value, like its condition, the exact date, and whether it has any additional flaws. And trust me, even a tiny scratch or dent can drop the value significantly. So if you're holding a 1986 no-mint mark penny, don't just get excited and run to the auction house just yet. We need to break down what makes the coin truly valuable. How to sell your penny for maximum profit. So, you found the penny. It's in great condition. The mint mark is missing. Now what? This is where the journey becomes critical. If you've got a rare 1986 no-mint mark penny, you've got to sell it the right way. Here's a quick guide to making sure you get the best possible price. First, you need to get your coin graded. This is crucial. The value of rare coins is heavily influenced by their condition, and having a professional grading service confirm its authenticity and quality can add thousands to the final price. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC are trusted in the industry. Don't skimp on this step. Next, know the market. Do some research. Where are you selling? Auction houses, online marketplaces like eBay, and even specialist dealers are great places to start. But remember, selling at the right place is key to getting top dollar. Timing is everything. Markets fluctuate. Interest in rare coins tends to surge when economic conditions shift, or when there's a surge in collector interest. Be patient, don't rush into selling. Wait for the right moment to maximize your profit. The coin you could be missing right now, but here's the twist. What if I told you that there are other coins, even rarer than the 1986 no-mint mark penny, sitting in your coin jar right now? Stay tuned, because in the next segment, I'm going to reveal some other hidden gems in your collection that could be worth millions. Spoiler alert, if you've got any pennies older than 1982, you could be sitting on a gold mine, literally. Now, if this 1986 no-mint mark penny has sparked your curiosity, it's time to take action. Go through your collection, examine those pennies, and make sure you don't let that million-dollar opportunity slip through your fingers. You never know. The next coin you touch could be the key to your future. Remember, this journey isn't just about coins. It's about finding your path to a wealthy lifestyle, taking charge of your future, and realizing that opportunity can be hiding in the most unexpected places. Imagine walking into a thrift store or sorting through your old coin collection and finding a penny. But not just any penny. A rare 1991 D-mint mark Lincoln 1 cent that could be worth $479,000. Yes, you heard me right. Nearly $500,000 for a single penny. Keep watching because this isn't a joke. This is a real opportunity. And it could change your life forever. Music shifts to a slightly more dramatic tone, with visual transitions showing different angles of the coin. You're probably thinking, a penny? Worth that much? That sounds too good to be true. Well, buckle up, because you're about to discover the secrets behind this unbelievable find. But before we get into the heart of this incredible story, let's first dive into why the 1991 D-mint mark Lincoln 1 cent penny is worth so much in the first place. Camera cuts to close-up of the penny with a magnifying lens highlighting the mint mark. Back in 1991, A seemingly routine batch of Lincoln pennies was minted in Denver. But here's the thing. Not all of them were struck perfectly. Most were just like any other penny, mass-produced with little fanfare. But among them, a handful of these coins were misstruck in a very specific way, and that's what makes them extremely rare. Light-hearted tone. Narrator chuckles lightly. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, so it's a mistake, but a penny is still just a penny, right? Well, it's actually more like discovering a forgotten treasure chest in your own backyard. But I'll admit, I'd be skeptical too. Let's keep going. This is where things get interesting. Slow, suspenseful background music. Camera zooms out to show piles of pennies, then transitions to a zoom-in of the 1991 D-Mint Mark penny. Most coins, when they're struck, come out perfectly, but some rare coins, like this one, were struck with flaws that collectors would pay top dollar for. The error lies in the misalignment of the die, which makes the coin slightly off-center or with a doubling of the design. So what you end up with is something that's worth far more than just a penny. Zoom in on error coin example with arrows pointing to the off-center die. Imagine it like this. A penny, mismade by accident, ends up being a gold mine for the right buyer. And this is no ordinary mistake. This error coin has intrinsic value to numismatists, coin collectors, because it's so rare. And here's where the story gets even juicier. You might be thinking, okay, so these coins are rare, but how rare are we talking about? How many are actually out there? Well, here's the thing. The 1991 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just a rare find. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The number of these coins in circulation, shockingly low. And there's a very special reason why some of these are selling for upwards of $479,000. I'm about to reveal that secret in just a moment, but before I do, let me ask you this. Camera shifts back to the narrator's voice, but with a visual of a hand holding a coin and tapping it lightly. Can you believe that? A penny worth more than a brand new car, or even a house in some places. Now, before you run off to check every single penny you own, let me ask you, what if you had one of these rare coins right now and didn't even know it? Stick with me. There's more to the story. Exciting, upbeat music kicks in. A transition shows the audience checking their coins closely. Alright, now that you know just how valuable this 1991 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny can be, let's talk about how to find it. Here's the thing. Most people don't even realize they have one of these coins. The coin could be sitting in your grandfather's old coin jar, in the back of your drawer, or even in your pocket change. So, what exactly should you be looking for? Simple, the mint mark. The 1991 D is key. Without the mint mark from Denver, you've got a regular coin. But if it's got that D stamped on it, and it shows any signs of misalignment or error, then you've got a treasure on your hands. Cut to visuals of a coin magnifying glass inspecting the mint mark and details of a potential error. But here's where things get critical. If you find one of these error coins, don't just toss it into your wallet and forget about it. Could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here's the kicker, if you wait too long to sell it, the market could change. Opportunities like this don't last forever. The window to make a fortune from a rare penny is shrinking, and the demand is rising. And here's the truth. I've seen people pass on life-changing opportunities like this because they didn't act fast enough. So, ask yourself, are you ready to take action now, or risk missing out on something that could change your financial future forever? The clock is ticking. Music swells into an inspiring tone. Don't wait until it's too late. If you find that rare 1991 D-Mint Mark penny, you could be holding the key to a whole new world of wealth. The choice is yours. Take control of your future. And if you're serious about selling your old coins for top dollar, don't hesitate. Start looking today and turn your old pennies into a new beginning. Fade out with visuals of the coin collection and the words, "Start your journey today." Call to action screen with subscription and discover more buttons. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, where we unlock the hidden treasures that could be sitting right under your nose. I know what you're thinking. A penny's just a penny, right? Wrong. What if I told you that a 1994 NO Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent could potentially make you rich beyond your wildest dreams? Yes, you heard that right. up to $679,000. You might think, how could this tiny, humble coin be worth so much? Well, it's because of a rare error, one that most people miss. Today, we're diving deep into this penny's journey to unimaginable value and how you could cash in if you have one. Trust me, this is a discovery you'll want to stick around for. We're not just talking about any penny here. This is the kind of coin that could change your life forever. But here's the catch, most people are completely oblivious to it. If you think this doesn't apply to you, think again. By the end of this video, you might just realize you've got a fortune on your hands. If you have a 1994 Lincoln penny, the odds are you've overlooked it, like everyone else. After all, a penny is just a penny, right? But there's something special about this particular year. Most of the 1994 pennies were minted with a mint mark, a small letter on the front of the coin that shows where it was made. But, and this is where the story gets wild, a few rare pennies from 1994 were released without this mint mark. And when that happens, collectors lose their minds. You're probably wondering, how can a missing letter on a tiny piece of metal make me that much money? Let me explain. You see, these no-mint mark pennies are incredibly rare. In fact, it's one of those errors that just slipped through the cracks, and now they're nearly impossible to find. This mistake made them highly desirable, and the coin community went crazy over them. But the catch is, not every 1994 penny without a mint mark is valuable. There's a specific set of conditions that make this particular penny worth up to $679,000. Let's break it down. If you happen to stumble across a 1994 penny with no mint mark, you'll need to check a few things to determine its worth. First, look at the condition of the coin. A well-preserved penny in mint condition will be worth much more than one that's worn out. If the penny shows signs of heavy wear, like scratches, discoloration, or tarnish, you'll need to be prepared for a lower value. But if you find one that's pristine, well, that's when things get interesting. Here's where things really heat up. Next, you'll want to have the penny appraised by a professional. This is where the magic happens. You could be sitting on an absolute goldmine, but unless you get it evaluated by an expert, you'll never know just how much it's worth. Imagine finding out your penny could change your financial future. Can you picture it? That's not a day you'll forget. Now, hold on. What do you do once you find out your 1994 no mint mark penny is worth big money? Well, that's where it gets a little tricky. And trust me, you don't want to miss this part. You could sell it at a coin auction or to a specialized dealer, but there's a hidden trap that most people don't know about. If you're not careful, you might sell your penny for way less than its true value. So how do you make sure you get top dollar? You won't want to miss this. Stick around. I'll reveal the secret in just a moment. So why aren't more people jumping on this? Why do so many people not realize the potential value of a simple penny? Well, the truth is, many are afraid to take the leap. Some people hold on to their coins, not knowing that they're worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, while others are too hesitant to get them appraised. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's a lack of knowledge. But you have the power to change that. Here's the kicker. I've seen countless stories of people who let these coins slip through their fingers. Don't be that person. If you have a 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny, you've got an opportunity here. But time is running out. Coin collectors are on the hunt, and the value of these rare pennies is only going to go up. Can you imagine how it would feel to wake up tomorrow and find out that your penny is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? This is your moment. The truth is, we've been conditioned to think of pennies as insignificant. But the 1994 no mint mark penny proves that anything can be worth more than its face value. But only if you know what to look for. If you've found one of these pennies, you're sitting on a treasure. If not, start searching now. The good news is, it's not too late, but don't wait too long. These rare coins are getting harder to find, and you could be the one who cashes in before the next wave of collectors swoops them up. Get your coins appraised, get them graded, and start looking for buyers who know their worth. You're one step away from potentially changing your life forever. And if you do find that $679,000 penny, don't forget to tell me about it. Let me know in the comments if you've ever come across a 1994 no mint mark penny, and I'll help guide you through the process of getting the most value for it. Now go ahead and check your change. You never know when you'll find a fortune. What if I told you that a tiny copper coin tucked away in your kitchen drawer could be your one-way ticket to a millionaire's lifestyle? This isn't fantasy. Right now, a simple 2018 Lincoln penny, yes, the one you may already own, is making headlines, and it's valued at a jaw-dropping $569,000, with some estimates soaring into the millions. Seriously, you might be closer to your dream house than you are to your coffee machine right now. But here's the thing. Most people will never realize it until it's too late. In 2018, the U.S. Mint in Denver produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies. But hidden among them, a rare breed emerged. A select few coins carrying tiny errors, die cracks, and anomalies that collectors crave like buried treasure. Errors so microscopic you could blink and miss a fortune. Some pennies have doubling on Lincoln's eye, cracks across the shield, or misaligned edges, small imperfections worth massive payouts. And right now, the rarest known 2018 error penny holds a market value pegged at a sizzling $569,000 and rising. Stick around, because in just a few minutes, I'm going to reveal how you can tell if your penny is the jackpot and how to sell it without getting ripped off. Now, here's where the heartbreak happens. Every year, thousands of people unknowingly spend these ultra-rare coins at gas stations, grocery stores, you name it, gone. Forever. Imagine accidentally tossing away $569,000 for a candy bar. Worst Snickers bar of your life, right? Even worse, some collectors fall victim to lowball offers from pawn shops, losing fortunes for a few $100 when their coin was life-changing. But you're smarter than that. You're here because you feel it. You know your breakthrough is close. Coming up next, the 3 critical checks you must perform before selling your 2018 penny, or risk walking away from hundreds of thousands. Now, let's separate the dreamers from the doers. First, grab a magnifying glass. Look for the clear mint mark under the date, and make sure the year is 2018.
No exceptions.
Next, check for anomalies. Doubling in Lincoln's eyes, mouth or ears. Die cracks across the shield. Uneven edges. These tiny imperfections can mean the difference between a penny's worth and a private island. Finally, do not sell without certification. Contact a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin with a high grade can fetch 10 times more. Imagine, within weeks, your tiny penny turning into a check bigger than your first house. And yes, finally saying goodbye to that ancient coffee machine. But here's the catch. Only a few of these treasures exist. Every day you wait, another collector could claim your fortune. So, check your drawers. Inspect your coins. Get your future in your hands. And remember, sometimes, it's not the mountains we climb that change our lives. It's the pennies we pick up. Subscribe for more rare coin secrets, insider tips, and millionaire moves, because the life you deserve could be hidden in plain sight.